All right.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hi guys.
Hi,
Welcome
everyone.
back
Hey,
to
everybody.
the Unkindness Lounge, episode 13. It's been a couple weeks, bit busy the last couple of weeks, but we're back, and we have Midnight Twin with us tonight.
Yes.
Hey,
Welcome
everybody.
in, Midnight.
Hey, thanks for
Legend.
having me. I'm super stoked. I don't know
Thanks
why
so
you're
much.
having me, but I'm excited to be here.
No, I feel like you're a pretty big part of this community, and it
100%.
only feels natural and right to have you on today. So
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
welcome in.
Thanks.
Like usual, guys, we love when you chat and ask questions and everything like that. We'll acknowledge everything towards the end of the podcast so that we don't get too distracted, but chat away and we see everything.
Yeah. Feel free to chat it up, and we'll see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, real quick, I'm Lizardnutta. I forgot to introduce myself. If you don't know me,
I'm Ravenclaw. If you even remember me, guys.
Yeah, and so we haven't said it in a few episodes, but we came up. Robbie Juice came up with the name for the podcast, the Unkindness Lounge, because a group of ravens is an unkindness. That's what it's called, and a group of lizards is a lounge. So it just kind of worked out pretty perfectly. But we're actually kind people. We promise. Yeah, and we just wanted to start this podcast to get to know more about the streamers in this community, like in depth. Their history with streaming and gaming. How they got involved in the community, all that. So, yeah, today we have Midnight Twin. Let's go! I'm so excited.
Hey.
Yeah. So,
So,
I'm like, it's been a couple weeks. How do we start this off again?
I guess we'll start with how did
you tell me.
start streaming? When was your first stream, and what
Oh,
led to it?
starting streaming. Wow. Well, it was interesting, really. See, I first started learning about Twitch back at the end of last year. I'm a big Funko fan, so I was watching one of the Funko casts, and Sully was doing one of the Funko casts, and then he said, right after this, come join me over on Twitch. He's like, I'll be streaming on Twitch. And I was like, all right, like I've heard of Twitch. I've never been on Twitch, and I'm like, I'll see what this is all about. He's like, I'll be giving away some Funko Pops and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went on there and started watching him, and I was like, hey, he's a pretty, decent guy, and that's pretty neat. So I kept watching him for a little while, and then after a while, I started checking out other people's channels in the Nerds Unite community, and um, one of the people in the Nerds Unite community, Super Jen, is one who I started to follow and started watching her, and started becoming, a big part of. She started playing some of similar games that I was, and that nature, along with everybody else. But she would always be one of those people that are like, you should stream, you should do this, you should stream. And I'm like, I'm not going to stream. Like, I don't even have a setup to stream. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know. But she's like, do you got a PS4? I'm like, yeah. She's like, then you can stream. So just so happens she was taking a hiatus for a little bit, and she's like, hey, look, she's like, I'm going to be taking some time off. She's like, you should stream while I'm not streaming. She's like, you should take over some of my time slots, to keep things going. And I'm like, I've never done this before, but why not? So just, I don't even remember the day. I think it was end of October, beginning of November is when I first started to stream on PS4. So that's the beginning of that. I started on my PS4, and then I got addicted, and I started joining other people's channels and learning what they were doing and seeing what they did. So then I ended up picking up a PC, and I built myself just a cheap gaming PC, and moved my way up to there. So now I'm, all integrated with OBS and everything else. So slowly learning, but haven't been in the streaming community as much as other people, but I'm learning fast through others that I watch. So a lot of real good people in the community to watch that know a lot of good stuff that help out. So
For sure.
Yeah. I think I remember your first stream, and it really does not even feel like it was that long ago at all. And it's crazy like how far you've already come Because like, yeah, you were literally just like, there's no camera or anything, and
Nope.
like, look at your setup now. So
Yep. And I was like, maybe I should buy a PS4 camera. And I was like, but those are really horrible. So maybe I don't want to buy one. And I just was
yeah,
like, you know what? I'm just gonna bite the bullet and just get a cheap gaming PC. And that's what I did. I just bought a cheap computer and upgraded it as I came up with money to get the parts and went from there. So
yeah,
you
it
know,
seems like it's working out for you. How are
Yeah.
you like enjoying streaming and everything?
I'm digging it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. The people in the community, the people in my chat, and this people in the Nerd Unite community are just, they're awesome. They're always so supportive. They're always, so great. And I always tell people, especially people in my stream, that I'm nothing without the people on my channel. Like they're just, they're the ones that keep me going. I love talking to them, even if, there's stuff off stream, through Twitter or just messages, we talk to each other and help each other out, and it's awesome. So I'm really liking it, but you have your days, where you're like, I don't feel like streaming today. I need a break, which is okay. It's okay for everyone to have a little time off and take some time, and that's when you can say, hey, I'm not going to be on today, but check out these other people streaming, they're awesome. So yeah,
sure.
no, I enjoy it, and I'm always looking for new stuff and always trying to, improve my stream. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
We talk a lot about how like it's kind of nerve-wracking when you start streaming. Like I know Lizard and I both aren't like super extroverted people or anything. How are you like personality-wise? Was it
Oh my God.
hard for you at first, or nerve-wracking, or do you love talking to people, and was it too bad for you, or?
No, I mean, I'm an extrovert. Like I thrive, off of people. Like I'm the first one to, be at a party. I'm the first one to do that kind of stuff. But when it comes to actually like running my own stream and like thinking of topics to talk about and like to keep the stream rolling, like that's where I blank, right? Like I'm like, okay, now what am I gonna say? But it's just coming into COVID, this is something that I needed because I'm such an extrovert. I was always doing something, like either I'm out acting or I'm, out in the community doing something else, and it's just when all that stopped, it was like I needed something to fill that void. And, this is what, helps fill that void. So
yeah,
it's nice.
I think a
nice
lot of people will agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of people got into streaming and stuff during that time, myself included. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's definitely a great way to be have friends and be in a community without going out. And
yeah, and if it wasn't for COVID, I probably wouldn't be streaming because like normally I travel for work and I'm gone, all the time, like 3 weeks out of the month I'm traveling. So I would have never even thought to even start streaming, so it'll be interesting once I get back out, once things go back to semi-normal, how my streaming schedule will change. But, I still want to keep
I think
it
it'll
going.
be interesting to see that with everyone, kind of like how things will adjust.
Right. Yep.
Who will still be like active and whatever, but
You could start
I'm
doing.
super happy for you.
You could start doing
Thanks.
IRL streams.
Yeah,
right.
I was thinking about that today. Like it's funny because I was at the Rochester Zoo. I took the day off just as like a mental health day, and went up to check out a new zoo I've never been to. And I was like, it'd be kind of cool just to go live right now, like show people all these, the cool new animals and things like that, So that may be something that I'll add into my stream because I travel a lot for work. So, I could be in a new city and, going places and, I could be doing stuff like that. So
Right.
You never know. My whole stream could change from gaming to something else. You never know. So
For sure.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how you're really like just open-minded about everything. Just gonna take it as it comes.
yeah, I don't want to let it die. I mean, I love the people that I talk to, and I love the people in this community, and I don't want to let it go. So whatever I got to do to adjust, my stream to make it work, then I'll do that. So
Yeah. Yeah, so how long have you been like watching Twitch? Because I know you're talking about, watching Solely and Funko Cast and stuff like that. How long were you like actively watching Twitch and stuff like that just prior to streaming?
It was just after the one Funko Cast, like back in I think it was mid last year is when I first started. So is when I started watching Twitch. Like,
not even super long.
No, I didn't even know really much about streaming. Like I knew about people that go on, like people that do their YouTube channels and have that stuff, But as far as like other streaming platforms, I was oblivious to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because I was just, it wasn't anywhere in my mind. I was always so busy doing other things, you know. So,
Right.
you know, acting took up a huge thing. Like I, like 4 nights out of the week, you know, I'd be gone, you know, rehearsals and stuff. So I wouldn't even barely touch my phone half the time. So
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, the stream looks great. And I feel like I've said it with a lot of people that started around the same time that you did, which would have been like 5 to 6 months ago. Um, it's crazy to me how good these streams look so fast, and I love it. And I feel like a big part of it is because everyone in the community is willing to like step in and help out. I know, like, my PC crapped out on me, my first one, and so I had to order new parts and build a new one. And if it wasn't for Jabante that I met through the community, I wouldn't have got that thing built. I was literally on a
oh yeah,
FaceTime call with him for like 4 hours to build that thing. He walked me through it step by step. So
yep,
it's kind of awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, you
Yeah,
see
you're
something on
pretty
someone's
brave
stream, you
for
know, you need to
just
go ahead to Raven. Sorry.
you're pretty brave for just like getting the PC to build yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
saved a lot of
I
money, but
just yeah, I did. I mean, I started watching. My brother had built a PC for his self, but he built like this incredibly insane and like expensive gaming computer, you
right,
know. But his buddy, one of his best friends, is a web designer, so you know his computer, he could probably do like graphic design and you know video editing and all this stuff on his, you know, if he wanted to, you know. And hey, if that's what you want to build it for and that's what you have the means to do, then by all means do that, you know. But I'm like, there's no way I could even be close to affording, you know, what he had. So I just started watching streams on, okay, what's like a cheap PC that I can buy now, you know, and then put some stuff in it just enough to stream and just enough to, you know, play video games on. And then throughout like my time learning this, and if I stick with this, that I can upgrade it and keep moving forward. So that's kind of where I wanted to start, and that's what I did, you know. So I think the PC that I actually got, I got it for like $100 for the actual whole PC, and it came with like an i7, and you know, it was just like an office computer, you know. So and then I just watched, you know, what graphics card to buy and like what, you know, RAM to put in it, you know, and that kind of stuff, just to do like small upgrades, you know, just enough to get it to go in streaming. So and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it works really. I mean, I have no issues really with it. Sometimes OBS is a little funky, but it's funky for everybody, you
right.
know. So you know, but I'm not a graphics designer. I'm not a video editor by any means. So I don't need something like that. Just something to help, you know, push my stream along, and it works great. I'm happy with it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
No.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, so what kind of goals do you have moving forward with streaming? I know you've been doing it for about half a year now, maybe a little longer. I'm not sure. Um, and it's been going great as far as I know. So,
Yeah, goal wise, I don't know. I just don't want my, you know, stream to get stale. You know, I want to keep it fresh. I want to. I'm always trying to think of something. You know, what else can I do? And like I'm looking at different games. You know, I'm still trying. I'm still getting a feel for it. You know, I'm still very new to it, and still, you know, right now you know, I have like a certain day, like Fridays is Fall Guy Fridays. Everybody knows, you know, Friday night, you know, we come into my channel, Jace the Collector. He usually raids over to me, and then he gets on Discord and he opens up his, and we've had nights where we've had, I think it was 3 teams of Fall Guys, like 12 people, all joining in on the same stream, and we all end up in the same game.
that's
And
That's awesome.
you know, and it's so much
That'd
fun
be
because
so much fun.
we're all in Discord. We're all just, you know, talking to each other, messing around with each other, and you know, it's a late night stream, so people just let loose, you know, and just have a good time, you know. And I'll go till 3, 4 in the morning, you know, on Friday nights, you know. And so I know that that night's always going to be there, you know. That's always a fun night. But like, you know,
Right.
Wednesday's kind of my definition day on, you know, what do I do, you know. I'm going to mix it up, you know. It's going to be like a whatever Wednesday, you know. Maybe I'll do some gaming. I dabbled in some of my custom pop work that I've done, you know. So I'm still kind of figuring out, you know, do I want to put new games on? Do I want to try something new? You know, so I just want to keep it fresh and just kind of appease people. You know, don't do the same old thing. You know, so I do like Switch games, I do PS4 games. You know, I'll do marbles on stream. I do Jackbox. You know, just trying to do a little something for everybody. You know, just to kind of keep it going. So
Yeah.
I'm always a multiplayer type of person. Like I don't really like single player games.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun for me. I like to be involved with other people. So that's kind of where I go.
That sounds awesome. Like I love how you have your established days like the Fall Guys Friday, but then you're like willing to be open to, you know, trying whatever and doing different things. I think that's just super fun in general for anyone that comes into the stream to like know what's going on and still get variety. But yeah.
Yeah. No matter what you play, I mean, people are going to be there for you. You're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate that. You know.
I have to ask because I haven't seen Fall Guys like any gameplay since they added the teams. How is that? Is that like a blast?
It's fun, but it's stressful and difficult. The mechanics behind it, it's a neat idea. Like I see where they're going with it, and the new season is nice because you can see where they took different pieces of different games and kind of like threw it into this game, like the mechanics of it. But like, there's a lot of times when like we'll play squads, and if you don't get enough people, it starts counting backwards. So you have to log. So you have to cancel, try again. If you don't get people, cancel, try again, because they're trying to build teams of 4, right?
Right.
So that's a frustrating thing. Another thing is, you know, you qualify by like being in like the top number, but along with being in the top number, like the top 7, you also get points. So whatever place you finish in on your team, you get that many points for where you place. So there's times where like we've been in a stream, and if I don't know if Raina Gonzalez is in here or not, but she gets very frustrated by this, and Jace can attest to this because he's been on stream when this has happened. But like, it'll say top 7 to finish, and you'll qualify in 7th, but because the team below you has more points, they end up moving forward, and you get kicked out. And it's like, what the heck,
no.
you know?
That sucks.
So it's frustrating, but the new season is a blast. Like just the music, the brightness of it, like the futuristic vibe, like it's so much fun.
I definitely need to watch someone play it because I haven't seen the new season. I haven't seen those squads, anything like that. It looks super fun though. Just something different.
Fun.
Well, tomorrow night is Fall Guy Friday.
Right.
Gotta pop in midnight stream.
It
Everyone
is.
has to go check out Fall Guy Friday stream.
But the one cool thing is too about it is like, say you have a team like of like two people that don't play Fall Guys very much. As long as at least you finish and qualify, even if like say Raven, you get knocked off, like you're playing a rollout and you fall off and you're out, as long as your team qualifies, you get to go on to the next round with them. So that's nice. Like you're not out. So as long as your team qualifies, you can continue and go on with them, which is cool.
I figured it'd be like all team games. I didn't realize they'd still have matches like that. That's cool.
Nope, they have individual games, but it's just where you place in that game.
It's a neat concept. I'll have to watch, you know, if I can stay up late enough tomorrow night. I don't know.
You're in a different time zone than me. You could stay up that late. Come on now.
That's true. That's
true. It's probably harder for you to stay awake now.
Oh man.
Yeah. All your energy's getting taken from you.
I watched you play a little bit this morning, and there's just so much going on. I'm like, this has really changed since September, which is the last time I played.
But it was needed, you know. It's so fresh, and it's so there's still some of the same stuff, but there's so many new elements which keeps it fresh, and it's nice. You know, like it's refreshing for people.
Yeah, so is there any like new games that you're looking forward to, or games that haven't come out yet that you are anticipating, anything like that you're super excited for?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of like any of the like new release games that are coming out. Not really, you know, like I try to keep solid with what I have. You know, I heard about the new like, you know, Mario 3D World came out, you know, and I'm a person that doesn't really get a game right when it comes out. Like I wait to watch people play it. I want to check it out first. I want to see the mechanics of it before I dive into it and really start, enjoying it. So I really haven't been keeping my eye on anything recently, to be honest. It's just, it hasn't been in the foreground of what I've been doing. So I'll watch people's streams, and I'll say, oh, this is kind of cool. They started playing this game, so then I'll go check it out and see what it's all about. But yeah, I'm not really one to track any new games coming out. So because I like way too many things. I'm eclectic, right? So I struggle with focusing on one thing. Like for me to even come up with emotes for my stream was a struggle, right? Like it's just, what do I make? I like too many different things. How do I brand myself? When I enjoy too many different things, so it's difficult for me to pick one thing.
I don't know if you're a Pokemon fanatic, but Pokemon Snap is coming out this month, I believe.
I heard about that. I'm not I'm not like an overkill Pokemon fan.
Right.
I did play Pokemon Go when that came out, and I was having a blast with that. It really wasn't in my era when it came out, and like I really didn't dive into it as much.
Right.
But there is a lot of people in the community that love Pokemon, so I love watching them open the cards and learning about all these new Pokemon that I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like I'm the classic Pokemon: Pikachu, Squirtle, Charizard, Bulbasaur, Jigglypuff. I know those guys. So that's pretty much where I go with Pokemon. But I did see something I was looking at the Nintendo eStore and looking through it. I did see a couple Pokemon games on there, and I was like, I was going to download one just to refresh myself with it and try to check it out. So yeah, maybe we'll have to see. I heard you talking about that, Lizard. I heard you talking about Snap and the different things you can do with it. So it sounded kind of fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, like I know nothing about Pokemon, but I'm thinking that it's going to be a nice introductory game.
Yeah, I think that one definitely would be a good one. And the Let's Go games are really fun too. I got Let's Go Eevee, and I mean, it feels new, but it's also feels very nostalgic in a way. So I really like that one. So you mentioned you were a collective, and I wanted to ask you this anyways.
Sure.
Earlier I saw something that it was talking about the drive home from GameStop and how I don't know if you remember this, but like you're younger and you go to the video game store and you get a new video game, and the whole ride home you're just reading the back of it, and you selected that game based on nothing because there's nothing on TV at the time. There's like you can't just go on YouTube because that's not a thing yet to like see if you'll like the game. You're just going based off the pictures on the back and what it reads. Like, do you remember those days?
I remember those days, and I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite jobs, and I probably would have never left it if it didn't close down, was Blockbuster. I worked at Blockbuster Video for like a year and a half, and I love that job because I'm a huge movie buff. I love video games, and the games and movies would come out early. We'd have them in the back room, and we were allowed to take 5 games or 5 movies home with us, and awesome. Watch them and play them before they came out and got released, because they wanted us to basically talk to the people about it, and have a good base knowledge on it. So, but I remember that, and it's funny because I was talking with Patrick about this morning about, he was talking about how he played Smash Brothers with the Dorksman and with Sully, and how he got his butt kicked, and that, and I said, yeah, right now, I said, it's about button smashing, and he's like, yeah, and I said, remember when you were a kid and you would get a game and you would literally buy the guide, and you'd get the guide and you'd sit down and you'd learn all the moves, with the guide, and then you'd be practicing like left and right with your remote to try to learn all these moves. I said, and now it's like, I just don't got time for that. I just want to play, So like I remember being that kid, buying all the Nintendo Power magazines and buying the, super thick guides, and I can look around my room and, like World of Warcraft, I have, guides upon guides on that stuff where I would just read everything and learn everything. And it's just, now everything's computer, you just type it in the computer and boom, you have it at your fingertips. You don't do that anymore. So yeah, I definitely remember, reading the back of of a box, you know what I mean, and picking up the game just by looking at the pictures and reading the little synopsis on it. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
it was always so much fun.
Yep.
That would be
And
fun, just getting home and like putting in the game and like really
right,
having no idea what it's actually
you
gonna
have
be
no
like.
idea whether it's gonna be good or not.
Yep. You can't watch a video on it. You can't, see what it's about.
I remember, I was younger. I was what would I have been? I would have been around 10. Um, and that was around the time when the Ant Bully came out. That movie.
Yep.
And
I remember that movie. Yep.
I did not like that movie for some reason. I just couldn't stand it. But someone, a family friend, I think, got me the video game for the Wii for a birthday present. I was like, ah, crap. Like, I would feel bad if I don't, like, put it in and at least give it a try. And that was one of the most fun games I ever played in my entire life.
That's hilarious.
It reminded me a lot of Grounded, but with like a linear story. It wasn't as open world, but it was super cool.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's like who was it on your stream that was talking about Lion King and what a N64 game, but it was like the hardest game to beat as a kid.
It was like four different people said that was their least favorite game.
I mentioned multiple times. So.
That was like the game to beat as a kid, right? Because it was just
Yeah.
a pain. And I literally played it like a couple months ago, getting the N64 back out, and jamming on it, and it was still hard. I was like, this game is ridiculous.
Dang, really?
I was like, no wonder why you couldn't beat it as a kid.
Yes.
Oh wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've had just about every other person at least that.
Yeah, everybody knows the Lion King. They know that was the pain in the butt game back in the day. Like Frogger was easier than that. Come on.
That's awesome.
That's so cool that you worked at Blockbuster though. How fun! Like, what a fun job.
I loved it.
Yeah. So, what was like the first console that you ever had?
Well, it's hard to say. Like the first console that was actually mine. If there was a console out there, I pretty much within my family unit we had it. Like we played it, or we've had friends that had it. My older brother, he got the Nintendo, so he played that. But my very first console was the Sega Genesis. And I loved the Sega Genesis. Like that was just playing Sonic, just having a blast. That had so many cool games that came out with it. It came out in like 1988. But I think the real killer thing that came out, and I was super stoked about, was the Sega CD. I don't know if you guys ever played the Sega CD or you ever had the Sega CD, but that came out in 1992 and it changed like gaming like forever. Like it was intense. There was a game, and now it's probably going to be like ridiculous, like it's stupid to play now, but as a kid it was called Sewer Shark. And the game, like you were watching like a real video of like a real person talking, like saying, okay, you got to do this. And it was like a choose your own adventure type thing. You're going down like through these sewer tubes, and then you have to make a decision to go this way or go that way, and and not get killed. But it was so cool to actually be in a game, and then the game would stop and there would be like a real person popping up on the screen. It wasn't like an animated person. It wasn't an 8-bit person. It was actually a real person like talking to you and saying, hey, do this, do that, this and that. And it was so cool, and they had Sewer Shark, and they had it was a Sherlock Holmes murder mystery game, and they were both like videos of like real people. And I like right then and there I was like, this is awesome. Like this is going to change gaming forever. And just like think of how far it's come, since that. It's like watching a VHS tape versus a Blu-ray or 4K disc now. So, but yeah, Sega was where it was at when I was a kid. I love the Sega Genesis.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you start gaming pretty young then?
Oh yeah, as a kid, absolutely. So my whole family's been gamers ever since we were little. So. Absolutely, we loved it. So I remember like even PC games, like when Deer Hunter first came out. I remember being over at my aunt and uncle's house and getting the CD for the first time and putting it in their computer, and playing it on their computer, and a deer's coming out. And I can remember my aunt like yelling at people in the house to be quiet because they're going to scare the deer. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm like, the game can't hear you. But
That
like,
is so funny.
and like my dad was one of those people that you'd play a race car game and he'd have the controller, but he would be doing this thing, right? Like trying to like lean into the corners and like look around things, like peer trying to see if he could see through the TV. But it's just funny things that you remember, growing up and playing video games,
Yeah,
so
just having your whole family like kind of be a part of that is kind of cool. Like I'm sure you have a lot of just good like family memories of
yeah,
that
absolutely.
system.
And yeah, and that stuck with us, that's kind of the glue that binded us, I mean, probably one of the games that would always, that's special to me is World of Warcraft, that kind of held my family together during like a really weird time when like everybody was kind of moving to different states and everybody lived in a different place. We all, one night a week or something, we'd all get on World of Warcraft. We were all in the same guild. We'd all, play together. We'd all raid together. And, my dad was on, my twin brother was on, my older brother, my sister, my aunt, my cousins. Like there was just a group of us, that loved that game and played it. And, right up until my dad passed away, we were playing that game, and it was just so much fun. So that's always something that, I'll always remember being a gamer. Like, it's people say that, games rot your brain and games are, horrible and all this other stuff, but games can pull people together. Like my dad met his wife on World of Warcraft
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
ended up moving across country to Idaho to marry her. And she ever since my dad passed away, she got remarried. She's moved on, but she's still so in love with him, and she's still every one of his birthdays and every one of his the memory of his passing, she posts stuff and throws stuff up there, and it hits me to think, if gaming wasn't there and he never played that game, they would have never met. And it's just it's crazy how people never really talk about the positivity of gaming as much as they should, like how good the communities can do, raising money or bringing people together. I mean, I met a lot of really cool people in the community, and I could probably walk up to anybody in this community, meet them in real life and not blink an eye. Like it's just like you've hung out since you were in high school,
Right.
so it's just it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think people that like you said kind of like are in that and do play games and stuff like that, like we all understand, but I feel like it's easy for people that don't do that just to look at it surface level and like not really understand that it's simply more than playing a game. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
when like we've talked about meeting like some of our best friends through this, gaming and streaming and stuff like that, like I have so many more friends than, I had before.
Right,
Right.
especially for
It's pretty
introverts, right? Introverts, it's like this is where you meet
Yeah,
your people.
right. Like introvert. Yeah, being an introvert is like I maybe have like 2 friends in real life. So.
It's like the socially awkward club, but we're all
Yes.
social.
Right.
It's pretty great.
We'd all meet in real life and be like, Will from, or be like, what's his name, Ron Burgundy. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't
Right?
know.
Oh gosh, can you imagine? Like we're all talking social out here, and then we meet in real life, and we're like,
Hi, nice to see you.
That will
well,
be me
we'll have to,
if you
if
guys
that
ever
ever
meet me.
happens,
Looks like from the lower half down. Interesting.
right? You'll have to be there if we all ever meet in real life, since you're the
Oh yeah,
extrovert.
we've already. I mean, people are.
Together.
Once cons come back in, everybody's going to be there. Everyone's going to be meeting at cons and everything else. So it's
It's gonna be pretty
huge.
great.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Have you ever been to something like that?
Just locally, I've never been to San Diego. I've never been to NYC, but Buffalo, where I live, they have Buffalo Comic Con, and I cosplay there, and I've gone there many times. We have a local artist in East Aurora. People that love Batman know who he is. His name's Graham Nolan. He's the creator of Bane from the Batman series, and he lives in East Aurora, where I used to live. And he was always at those cons, and
That's
him and I
awesome.
would talk all the time, and because we lived in the same town. And he's a pretty awesome dude to get to know and get to talk about. And he's come out with his new comic book line since then. He's had a couple new comics come out. He came out with a Frankenstein comic called I, Frankenstein, and actually it's based in Buffalo, so all the backgrounds are Buffalo architecture and stuff. So it's cool, just the people you get to meet and learn about going to cons. It's interesting. But yeah, I've never gone to cons, never met celebrities. I hear a lot of people in my chat, because a lot of people that are in my community are from the West Coast that have gone to San Diego and met all these cool actors and have all these
Right.
signed pops, and I'm like, nope.
See, I think that'd be so cool. Like both of us are, here in the Midwest. Like
Right. Yep.
We have
we've
nothing.
never, yeah. So that would be. I can't imagine. I can't even imagine. But I bet it would be just like a ton of fun and just like super cool to experience.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
just Buffalo's small, but it's so much fun, especially like
Mhm.
doing cosplay and dressing up. Me and my I made Lego Batman and Lego Bane costumes for my brother and myself when we went, and it was just the kids' reactions, like just the little kids like walking around wanting to meet Lego Batman and Lego Bane and take pictures
Right.
with them. Like that was worth just going. It was just so much fun.
That's awesome.
That man, I would love to see something like that someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's
great.
there's definitely so much like good when it comes to video games and the content creation behind video games and the conventions around video games and stuff that people don't realize, I think.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. I remember, when I was like in high school or early after high school, those are like weird times as a person, kind of
Right.
sad for no reason,
Right.
sometimes. And if it wasn't for like just some video game content creators on YouTube, like those were always consistently happy, just playing with their friends. Now here we are, and we're all doing that.
Absolutely. And I mean,
It's
it's nice
cool.
that we can be in the day and age now, like where they have the virtual cons, or even like when BlizzCon was like on the computer, me and my brother would buy the ticket to BlizzCon on the computer because we knew we couldn't make it,
Right.
So you could watch all the panels, you could watch the people cosplaying, you could, and, that's how we got to enjoy it. You look at Jace in the chat, San Diego in the house, he's gone to San Diego, I don't know how many times. Comic-Con, so I mean, it's a cool community to be a part of.
Yeah.
Even if you can't be there, at least you can be there to experience it.
For sure.
Yeah, and there's just so much more to gaming than just like surface
Oh yeah,
level
absolutely.
playing a game. So
Yep.
it's definitely a lot. A lot can happen, and it's just super cool to get to experience that yourself.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah. So, do you have a favorite game ever of all time?
Favorite game of all time. See, that's tough because there's so many different platforms to have a favorite game of all time. Like
It sounds like you've played a lot
I
of
will.
games too.
I've played tons of games. Like you can.
A lot
I'm
of
like I'm
games, a
thinking.
lot of systems.
I've played tons, but like probably some of the classics that I'll always enjoy are like arcade games. Like you can't beat like an actual physical arcade game. Going in an arcade and playing those type of games versus like a console or a PC. So like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, playing, that was one of my. You could have 4 friends all on a stand up arcade game. Playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that was always a favorite. Or Gauntlet, or the X-Men. Like just classic arcade games will, I think, always be my favorite. Just to actually go to an arcade, because that was like your first real like hanging out with other gamers, right? You're going to an arcade and you're hanging out with these people that love these things as much as you do, and you could put quarters in and somebody walks up next to you and is like, hey, do you mind if I join in your game? No, absolutely. Throw in your quarters, and then you got somebody you never met and they're playing with you, jamming out on Ninja Turtles or X-Men, one of these type of games. So yeah, definitely. I think I'd have to go with the classic arcade games. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for
That's
sure.
super cool. Yeah, I like that. It's awesome.
Man, arcades are always fun.
Right.
Yep.
I've forgotten about arcades. It's been so long.
You do. Yeah, I mean, we have a local amusement park here, Darien Lake Six Flags. Now it's Six Flags, but it was like Darien Lake Six Flags is what it is now. And they have an arcade in there, and that's like the place where you would go when you go. You get bored of the rides, you go to sit in the arcade and hang out in the arcade. So, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, did you guys have like PlayStation and Xbox too? Because I know
Yes.
you had talked about like your family pretty much had everything.
Yep. We had PlayStation and we had Xbox. At the time, I was more Xbox than PlayStation because of Halo. and I would go to my buddy's house, and we would have LAN parties where we'd have like 5-6 people coming over, and it would be right after work. We'd all string out through the house with our Ethernet wires all throughout the whole house, everybody in a different room, and we would just stay up till like 2-3 in the morning, just doing nothing but playing Halo all night long. So it was that definitely we definitely had both systems.
Yeah. Do you
That's
still
awesome.
have an Xbox, or are you pretty much
Oh,
sticking to
nope.
PlayStation now?
I've stuck with PlayStation. I've gotten away from Xbox, just because it's just PlayStation. The thing that hooked me on the PlayStation to start with was a Blu-ray player. That's what kind of got me to move towards that once they first got it, and then some of the games on it I liked a little more that came out. So and then I just stuck with PlayStation. So and I haven't gone with the new PS5 yet. Like I said, I'm one of those guys that wait a little while, for things that have been out before I'll go and grab it. But I know a lot of people in the community have it and they're enjoying it. So down the road I'll pick it up. I went back in life. Instead of buying a PS5, I purchased a Switch. So. But that's because I'm obsessed with Animal Crossing.
Switch is
Yes.
like the best console, though, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I had GameCube. When I worked at Blockbuster, I used to have GameCube, and that's when Animal Crossing first started. And back then,
Did you play that?
when you had, yep, I did. Yep.
So cool.
And back then, in order to visit somebody's island, you had to take the memory card out of your GameCube and put it in somebody else's GameCube in order to move over to their island. So my friend that worked at Blockbuster, we would do that after work. We would like go over to his house, hook up our GameCubes, and we would just, that's how we would visit each other's islands. It's just so funny how different the world has changed. Where you can just go online and go over to somebody's island, and not people nowadays, they don't blink an eye at it. But the first generations of consoles, it was way different.
Yeah,
Man,
it's crazy. Then you got people like Jin and JR from Ginger Gaming that
Oh my gosh.
can literally just not even look at the screen and build like the fanciest island you've ever seen.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Or people like Robbie Juice, whose brain is so mechanically inclined to these
Right.
games that he can play a game backwards.
Yeah.
It's just some people are just so good at certain games, and they tune to those games, and it's awesome. It's so cool to just watch them in their element.
For sure.
Like I'm rebuilding my island right now, and I'm stressing out, like trying.
Yeah.
So liking your Switch. You finally got your Switch. I know you were wanting the Switch and Animal Crossing for a long time, and you finally got it. How's it going?
Oh, I love it.
Welcome to the Animal Crossing life.
Yes.
You should say welcome to the vortex, because
I was
it's
like,
just sucks
as it
you in.
trapped you in. Yeah, it definitely is like a black hole.
Yeah, no, it hasn't trapped me at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Him podcasting and playing at the same time.
It's sitting right there. That's just me.
That's
like
awesome. It's definitely.
But like that's me. Like when I'm streaming, I open up my island and I just leave it open. So while I'm streaming, if people want to come over and hang out or drop stuff off my island, they can do that. So
that's so cool.
For a video game, the Animal Crossing community is literally like one of the best, I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah. Right, Jace? The Super Smash Brothers on the GameCube? Yep. See?
Yeah,
Jace
that
knows.
one's fun. I have that one in this closet back here. The Super Smash Bros. For the GameCube and the GameCube.
Mario Baseball is like
Classic.
my favorite game.
There you go. They're coming back out with, oh no, they got Mario Golf coming out. I'm looking, that should be fun.
Yeah, that one seems pretty interesting.
That's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah.
I know Jace look at that.
Yeah.
So, but no, I love the GameCube, and I love that you can download the old school, like NES and Nintendo games. Like I was playing Punch Out the other day,
for free.
like trying to remember the moves, because there's a certain way you have to hit the person and a certain way to move. So I was like, I remember this game. So that
I downloaded all those just to like be able to check out kind of like all the classic old games, and it is crazy like playing a modern game and then switching over to that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like insane how far the technology has came in such a short period of time. Like,
did you guys know about all of the backwards compatibility with Nintendo games?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So you can you can play GameCube games on the Wii. You just put the disc in.
Yep.
play on the Wii. You can play Game Boy games on the what is it? The DS Lite.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
They
I
really
keep
have to do the
forgetting
backwards
about-
compatibility, which is
I keep
nice.
forgetting about the GameCube on the Wii. I need to get like a few of GameCube.
Yeah,
games
it's
just
super
to,
cool.
like, plug into the Wii.
And of course, the Xbox One does that. You can put any like Xbox disc in, but they're all a disc. So I think it's weird that you can like take a different like
Yeah.
cartridge or like a small disc like the GameCube disc and put it in the Wii and it'll play. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
That is
And I think that's mindset of being able to transfer, like, doing the backwards compatibility with like a hard CD or a hard cartridge makes it hard for me to actually download like a digital version of a game.
Right.
Like, I want that physical copy like in my like in my hand,
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, the physical copies of some games are just a must. You just have to have it.
Like even just like
No, go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Raven. No, I was just saying, just like Lizard was mentioning about taking that game home, like just like the cover art and just like checking out the inside of the case when you open it, like that's just like half of the enjoyment of buying a new game.
Right.
And it's so exciting when you like are looking forward to a game and you finally have that copy like in your hand.
Yep.
Definitely fun.
Like I remember sitting outside of GameStop, for the special edition World of Warcraft boxes, just with my dad and my brother, like, and then actually having that physical copy in your hand, it was like the best feeling.
Yeah. Did you end up getting some more Switch games?
I have Animal Crossing and I do and Mario Kart. And then I have, like I say, the classic Nintendo games on there. So those are pretty much the ones that I've stuck to right now. Just because, I'm still diving into it. I don't want to get too many games, because like I'll never play them.
Right.
Because I'm always, I stream, 3 nights a week, and I'm either doing Fall Guys on the PS4, plus I do like Rocket League. I put Rocket League on there as well on my Switch, so I can play it on there. But Rocket League on the PS4 I like to play sometimes. So it's just there's only so much time in a day,
Sure.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Dude, I'm getting straight up blinded.
Look at you. Oh
I'm
no,
like,
what happened?
Hopefully that helps.
Somonic mentioned that in the chat. She's like, how is Raven like
I
not being
literally
bothered by the
I closed my
cinema?
blinds before, but there was like one sliver of one like flipped open, and I'm like, can't see anything.
You're like Display Geek. He does the same thing. He's like, I got all my windows blocked, but there's always this one little beam of light that like
I'm like
messes
somehow
up
I'm
his camera.
Right.
blinded. Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like I can see again.
So I don't know if we caught it earlier. What was the first game you ever played? I know.
Geez. Well, I mean, like you say, it's hard to say the first game you ever played because, right, like I'm an arcade game, going to the arcades, playing that generation type of games. Plus, we had, Pong, the very first, paddle game on like Atari. We had Atari, that was like one of the first systems. Pitfall, some of those, classic games from the Atari, Asteroids, Galactica, those are probably some of the first games I've ever played, coming from the Atari system. So as a kid, and those were, nothing compared to what they have nowadays, but they were fun,
Right.
So yeah, definitely the Atari games were some of the first ones I played. So like I say, I remember Pitfall, I remember, Asteroids, I remember Pong. So those, and Tetris, those were like all like the very first games that I've ever played.
Sweet. And so we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was your first or your favorite game.
Yep.
What is the least favorite? Like, what's the worst game you've
like,
ever
worst
played?
ever game.
Oh my gosh.
Throw it in the
Oh my
trash.
gosh.
Could it be The Lion King?
The Lion King. No.
The Lion King. No. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I've ever like judged games like Like I try not to judge it too harshly, but I know one game that I hated the most, just because it was another one of those difficult games, was Lemmings. Like it was a game that was on the PC, and this was one of the games that like we snuck onto the school computers. So like like while you're trying to, the teacher's up there teaching on the board, the kids are playing Lemmings, and it was just such a crazy game to try to keep your lemmings from like jumping off a cliff and dying. And like
I've never heard of
I
this.
hated it. Like the new Lemmings that you're gonna like look up is gonna be completely different.
How do you
So, like,
spell
you have to
that?
look up, like it came out
Give
the
us
same
a
time
year.
that
Give us a year.
like the original like Worms came out, like that
Oh my
too.
God.
That was a fun game though. I loved Worms when that first game came out on the PC. But like the original Lemmings game when that first came out, oh geez, I don't even know. When did Lemmings come out?
1991.
Yep, that sounds about right.
That looks like quite the game.
Right?
It's I mean it's pretty much like, not like nowadays like one of your mobile games that you play, right? Like simple,
Right, something.
Try to get all your people to one place without dying. But I mean, back in the day on a PC, it was just such a pain in the butt.
That is so funny.
Like, it's just awesome. One little guy would like turn the wrong way, and it would ruin your whole game. And it wasn't like it was so frustrating. And there was no like game saving in the middle. There was nothing. Like you'd have to start from scratch.
Dang.
So, but yeah, that was definitely a game that I hated.
Yeah, it looks like something else.
Well,
that's a first. That's a first.
You gotta go back one of these days on stream and conquer the game. You can't let it get the best of you for the rest of your life.
I mean, I know they re-released it, but I don't know how it is compared to
you gotta beat the original one,
so.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably like traumatized. Like,
I know
right?
The first game I ever played is on Steam, I believe. Let me go look. I think. This was a computer game that came out in 1992, I believe. It was...
I'm intrigued.
This was before I was born as well.
Oh gosh. I gotta get ready to look it up.
This is before I was born, he says.
Yeah. Okay, no it's not. But it's somewhere. It's somewhere. I looked it up not too long ago. It was Oregon Trail 2.
Oh my gosh.
Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail 1 was probably before you were born.
Yeah, I don't even know what Oregon Trail 1 looks like.
On a 3.5-inch floppy disk.
Yeah, I remember Oregon Trail 2. It is a weird game.
Oregon Trail.
It is just a bunch of reading and you clicked, and really
the only pretty much it was a choose your own adventure type game.
The only like game part of it is you could hunt, and you had like a little crosshair and you could like shoot deer and stuff, but it was kind of difficult.
Oh my gosh. That looks like you're in the Wild West.
Yeah.
See, Vile knows. She's on the same wavelength.
Pictures crack me up if you just like type in Oregon Trail and look at the images.
It's pretty crazy.
I can't imagine you playing anything like that now, but it's different obviously when you're a kid. But
that's all we had.
All for nostalgia, man. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
The only other one I've ever played was Oregon Trail 5, and you could fish and hunt and all these cool things.
But you know what, Raven? I mean, you look at this game, and you're like, I can't believe you play something like that. But what's like one of the biggest games out right now that's like an 8-bit? Minecraft, right? People are obsessed with it. And it's not fancy. It's not fancy graphics. It's not like amazing anything. It's an 8-bit game, and that's what we grew up on, So it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
It was the first game ever, huh, Lizard?
It was, yep.
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, you can buy it for like $3. It's pretty cool.
Did you play it in school, Lizard, or was this like...
No, we had it. Me and my family owned it. We owned that, and we owned the Carmen Sandiego, but I was too young to
Sandiego was
comprehend what was happening.
See, I played that in school.
I loved that show on TV just because of the acapella group. I would just sing along with them. I loved it.
We had some other games, some hunting ones I wasn't too into. Mainly just Oregon Trail. For some reason, I thought that was such a fun game. So weird. It was challenging.
Yep.
I bet.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so Lemmings is the worst game ever.
Yep.
Which I feel like I'm gonna have to like go see if they have a version of it now, just
Like,
to try.
I'll probably go back and probably enjoy it, but now, I mean, I remember back in the day, I was like, nope, absolutely not.
Right.
I'll stick with Doom, thank you.
For
It's
real.
like heck, if it's between that and school, like you always got to go with the game.
Oh yeah.
If it's
Oh, yeah.
between that and like sitting through a lecture.
Yep.
Man, I miss those old school games on the computer. You just
Right. I
find
know,
a
like
weird game
computer
and play.
class, so fun.
Yeah, I remember playing Happy Wheels back in the day.
Yeah. And everything was so simple. Like you didn't have to like hit like 5 different
Right.
combination buttons to make something work.
Right.
You know, it was just two buttons and that's it.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
I
cool.
always loved Age of Empires. Like every single time we had a computer class, be on Age of Empires. I don't even know why I liked that game. Like,
because it was
as
more
a
fun than
young
class.
child, but
That's why.
yeah, because if it comes down to that in class,
For
Right.
sure.
oh man, good times.
Definitely.
So, what other games besides Fall Guys have you been playing lately?
Fall Guys, like I said, Rocket League. I've been playing some Rocket League. Animal Crossing, definitely. Play some Mario Kart. And then I just re-downloaded Fortnite. I stopped playing Fortnite for a long time, but
Oh yeah, did you stream that yesterday or
I was
something
gonna
like
try to
that?
stream it this morning because I just
Yeah.
re-downloaded it,
Okay.
and I tried to, and I was gonna try to play it, but I haven't played it in so long. I was like, I'm horrible at this game. I can't stream this right now.
I
So
remember
stopped.
getting the notification
But, like,
that said Fortnite. I was like,
my brother and his family are big in that they play Fortnite, so
mhm.
they're big into it. So I mean, I used to play it quite a bit, but like I haven't. I stopped playing it. You know, they did the whole Marvel thing. I did the was in with the Marvel because I love Black Panther. Chadwick. I knew Chadwick. He was a good guy. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to play that version of Fortnite so I could get that the Black Panther skin just for that main reason. So, but then after that, it just kind of got stale for me again. So I just stopped playing. And then I tried like Warzone and I tried Apex, and I've just been enjoying like the other games like Fall Guys more and Jackbox and just the simpler games, Mario Kart, like I said, but mostly it's Animal Crossing. I get sucked into Animal Crossing. I have so much fun. I have so much fun with that game. And then
Do
people
you
coming
stream
over to
that ever, or do
complaining.
you?
Oh yeah, I used to,
do.
but I'm not now. I'm putting a pause on it until I finish my island because I'm building Disney World and I want it to be a surprise to everybody. So
That's gonna be super cool.
People are so creative.
So I'm gonna keep it because I did Nightmare Before Christmas, and and I enjoyed the way that it turned out, and I liked it. But then I started thinking to myself, okay, so I have Christmas Town and then I have Halloween Town, but how am I ever going to change it? Like when the new holidays come out, I can't really do much with it. Like, so it's just going to be kind of the same old, same old. And so I was like, I need to change it up. And I'm like, I can do, I'll do Disney World, because that'll be something fun to do. And they have so many different festivals and they celebrate all the holidays, so I can change it up,
Right.
and keep it
yeah.
and keep it fresh, So, I was like, that's what I'm doing.
So have you've unlocked like terraforming and everything?
I finally unlocked terraforming like the other day.
How's that? Is it overwhelming?
No, it's not the overwhelming part is trying to figure out where I want to start. Like, I created a new account, so now I have 2 houses because I know my main house is going to be used for the castle, so you can go inside and see the different rooms in the castle, and then my other house is going to be for the Haunted Mansion ride, so you can go into the different rooms, and it's going to be the Haunted Mansion ride. So I know that those 2. So I'm like, do I want to start putting everything in my house first and finish that, or do I want to start like laying out the landscape for that? So I mean, I've gone to the extreme of actually like downloading the Excel version of the Animal Crossing map, and I took like a real map of Disney World and stretched it out over top of it and based all the squares out, so I can kind of like plot where I want to put stuff and kind of make it match up. I know it's not all going to fit, right, because Disney World's huge and you can't fit everything, but I can have a basis of, okay, this is where this land is, this is where this land is. I'll pick one major ride from each land, and I'll make that ride so you can actually experience something in each one of the lands, right? I can't fit every ride, I can't fit every, restaurant,
sure.
every, stop, but I could put out some key elements. So I got a lot to do with it, but hopefully it'll turn out really good, and it'll be hype by the time I'm done with it. I'm hoping so. And everybody's been great in wanting to help me out. Everybody that's been coming over to my island and giving me stuff to help me, resupply my inventories and fill up my museum, and they've been great. So,
dude, that'll be so cool. I can't wait to see, because I have like no imagination or creativity, and so
me neither.
I got nothing on my island. A year later.
I mean, mine is based off my favorite fast food restaurant, and all I've got done is the flag, and my roof is broken.
Hey, I saw inside your house. You're getting there.
I am getting there. The house isn't too bad, but that's awesome. The Disney World idea is going to be super, super cool. I can't wait to see it.
I love how you have like kind of mapped out in your head what you're going to do. That's going to definitely, it's going to take some work and some time, but that's going to be super cool to see.
At least you have a general idea.
That's what this is for. This is my Animal Crossing journal. See, awesome. So I take this, and I love that. I write down all my ideas and stuff in here, so I can keep track of like what I want, like what items I need, So
I love that. I got to get me one of those.
That's awesome. That. Why have I never thought about getting one?
Because if not, I'm gonna forget everything, that I want.
For sure.
So it comes in handy.
That's so cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. That'll be so fun.
Yep.
It's such a creative game.
It is, and it's so cool. Like one of the things I'm doing now, and I'm trying to build. I'm a dork by trying to make everything as close to real as possible, and you can't do that because Animal Crossing doesn't have those type of things. But you can use different items and repurpose them as other things. Like you can't use the fence pieces like inside your house, right? Like I tried to put like one of the stone fences inside my house, and it didn't work. So instead of using a stone fence, I just took a fireplace and turned it around. So then you have like a stone fence.
That's so cool.
That's smart,
it's just like, it's so many cool things. I'm like, and Jen, they're like experts at doing this, right? Like the big buildings you see and how they repurpose different items to look like a building. It's crazy. So
yeah, people are too creative at that game. It makes me feel a little bad about myself, but I'm like, but
it's like,
are you a billionaire?
When you finally get like the bare minimum done on your island, and then you only get like 3 pictures or something, you're like, wow, this is trash.
Right.
Like I started to learn about side panels, and I'm like, okay, here's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down.
That'll be so helpful for you, though.
Yep.
Oh man. Well, that'll be fun. That'll be super cool to see.
Yep. Like I say, keeping it a surprise. We'll see what happens, how it turns out.
Have you been there like multiple times, like in real life?
No. I've been there maybe like a handful of times, like 2 or I went. Trying to think. 1, 2. I went to Disney World my senior year for it was prom. They had a prom night there at Disney World, so our senior trip was to Disney World. I went on a Disney cruise once, and then I just went like 3 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago I went. So I was supposed to go again, but then COVID hit. So I'm hoping to go again once COVID's over, and once the mask ban is lifted, I want to go back. So
a Disney cruise sounds pretty cool.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so cool.
A blast.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
It was so nice. And it's so cool because like they have sections of the ship that it's like they have a kids section, they have a teen section, and they have adult section. So on the adult section, the kids aren't allowed to go over there. So you can have like your own private time without, being disturbed or whatever. But they have like a full theater in there. They have, any type of food you want is in there. They have a comedy club. I mean, it's nuts. And then you get to stop at like an island of your choosing, and you get to do like, I got to swim with, stingrays, and, I got to go for like a canoe along the beach with sharks, and it was cool. It was such a cool experience to go on the actual cruise.
That's crazy.
It's so cool.
How fun. Yeah. I've never been to Disney World or Disneyland,
Yeah.
but one of these days I will go.
Yeah.
I just want to go to the Harry Potter world, so wherever. That's in like one of them, right?
There you
Maybe
go.
it's Universal. I can't
That's
keep
Universal.
track
That's
of.
Universal.
I don't know the difference because I've never been, but I just want to go.
Yep, that's Universal. So,
Oh.
but no, yeah, I can't. I was supposed to actually go to Disney. I was gonna go to Disneyland because I had a conference there for work, and then the conference got canceled because of COVID. I was like, man, that would have been my
Yeah.
one and only chance to
that's
actually
like a
go
work
there.
trip?
Is that in California?
It's gonna be a work trip?
Disneyland?
Yeah. Well, I cover all of Canada for one of my regions, and I cover U.S. military, so like different states I have to go to. But one of my Canadian customers, they were having a conference, and it was in California. So I was like all excited to go. I was like, yes, it's like 20 minutes from Disneyland.
Right.
I'm like, I'm
That's
going.
so cool.
And then they canceled it, and I was like, no.
So like pre-COVID, you traveled a lot just with your job?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like 3 weeks out of the month, I'm gone. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yep. But don't worry, I pack my PS4, so I get a lot of funny looks going through the airport with my PS4 in my bag.
Hey, I don't blame you.
It's gotta be
I
done.
would take it.
Jace knows all about it. Jace bought a whole like briefcase to put his PS4 in with a screen and everything.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
so cool.
Heck, I would too. Gotta have the important stuff.
But now I have the Switch, so it's a carry-on, so that's a lot easier.
I remember when I was I think it was probably early high school, one of my buddies had one of those those briefcase things with the screen in it with the PlayStation, and we went to a basketball camp during the summer, and you weren't allowed to have electronics or anything, and we were in there playing NBA 2K, and one of the counselors came in and was getting onto us, and we're like, well, we're practicing basketball, like, technically.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. That's like the new Mighty Ducks series. Right. I don't know if you guys have seen that on Disney Plus yet.
Not the new one, That's awesome.
I haven't seen the new one either.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but if you ever watch it, it'll that what you just said reminds me of a scene in there. So,
yeah, I'm gonna have to go check it out. That's awesome. I didn't realize they made a new series. That's awesome. Cool.
Yep. That's cool.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, now you have something like the Switch that's so small you can just take it with you anywhere. That's pretty cool.
Now I gotta buy the travel case. So
there you go. Yeah.
But I'll wait till I start traveling before I do that. So.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so you have your PC now you're streaming on.
Yep.
Do you have any PC games?
I have Phasmo. So
do you have that? I didn't know you had got that.
What's Phasmophobia?
Sami bought it because he wanted me to play with those guys, so I played like once or twice. And then it's just a lot of you guys are playing earlier than I can sometimes, so I'd like to play that again sometime soon. But pretty much that's really the only like PC game that I have right now. But I've learned that I have to download the Fall Guys on PC if I want to play in the Extra Life tournament coming up. So I'm gonna have to do that. So
yeah.
Wonder if the PC version's still like hackers and everything. And like
I don't think so. I think they jumped on the hacker problem pretty early on. But I don't know. People are always hacking, in my opinion, because I'm so bad at games and they're better, so they have to be cheating, right?
Right. Oh, and I do have Guild Wars 2 on my PC. I forgot I have that too, but I haven't played that in a while. So
cool.
Yeah, so actually the one time I've ever played a game with you was Phasmophobia.
Yep. That's Phasmo.
How was it? I had no idea you actually like played it.
It was fun.
I didn't die.
Yeah.
So
you didn't die, is that what you said?
I didn't die, but I got freaked out going upstairs and having the guy chase after me.
You've never died on that game?
I didn't die, no.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you gotta play more. Everyone's gotta experience their first death.
No, we just let Sam die.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, he
That's
does.
true.
He's really, really good about taking.
He's prone to dying, for sure.
Nope.
Yes.
I hear those footsteps and I go running. I'm like, nope, I ain't doing it.
Right.
I had to start putting a Psalm sacrifice counter on my screen because he dies so much.
There you go. That's hilarious.
I still go hide. I'm like, You guys will be like running around, getting the like ghost to run in circles. I'm like, nah, I'll just go hide.
I'll buy it, Jace said.
Not
Shout out, blame
It's
Jace.
fun.
I will buy it, Jace, because I want to be in the tournament with you and Robbie.
Oh fuck.
So I will get it.
Yeah.
For Extra Life, so I will do that. Plus, I want to try to raise some money for the kids. So,
Right,
Wait, yeah, when is that happening?
I think it's April 24th is the tournament. I don't remember. I have to think so. But I signed up for that one and for the Rocket League tournament. So
sweet.
That's cool.
That's coming up then.
Yep.
That'll be
another thing. Like, this community does an awesome job at like raising money for like special causes and doing like charity streams and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's super cool. Like the way that everyone comes together just to donate and stuff, like do like streams. I mean, that one Extra Life one went on for like months, it felt like.
Well, yeah, we ended it in December. And
yeah.
The community raised over close to $50,000. So
right,
that's so
crazy.
Cool. Yeah.
A lot of generous people. So
sure. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and that's awesome that you're like wanting to be a part of that and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So got to do it for the kiddies.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, Phasmo Fridays tomorrow. I don't know what you're doing in the morning.
Working.
He's like, I don't get on until like 1 a.m.
Right.
He's like, I have Fall Guy Fridays already.
We'll definitely have to get you on there and
I'll be in there watching at least. You know that.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It's a very unique game. And the basis is obviously ghosts.
Yep.
So, do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, absolutely. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Ooh.
So,
let's go.
Yep.
Do you have any experiences? Any stories?
I quite a few experiences. Actually, growing up. Me and my friends, we were big into ghosts. Growing up, my one friend lived on a reservation, so we would always go out into the woods and we would, sit down and just listen, to out there, and you'd hear drums, like playing out in the woods, and you could hear voices and things of that nature. My one friend, Cassidy, she used to be a ghost hunter. She would do a lot of paranormal stuff. We have a lot of haunted houses and things of that in our area, and she used to work at like one of these houses that were actually haunted, that people would come, they would do tours of, and people would come in and stuff. So she's seen a lot. And we actually had this one house, it's a little bit down the road from where she lived, and the old lady that used to live in it, there was like horror stories about what had happened in this house and to her family because of all these ghosts and everything like that. And she had told me about it, and she was like, she's like, I know you're into acting, and I know you do all that stuff. She's like, would you help me write a script, for this event? She's like, I'd like you to talk to, the lady, and she's a good friend of mine, and get some more details. So she's like, but she's like, I'm warning you. She's like, if things start, getting funny, I just want you to, stop, just stop working on the script and just don't do it anymore. She's like, it's a difficult story to dig into, and just things happen, like, so just be careful. And at the time, I'm naive, right? I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm writing a story.
Right.
like what, nothing's gonna come of this. So they had a book out about the house, and she gave me the book. She's like, just here's something that I want you to read. This is the most fictional book, she's like, there's a lot of untruths about it. She's like, but this one I can vouch for. She's like, so let's base it off of this book and get into it. So I read the book, front to back, read it a couple times, started pulling like little excerpts out, and I started writing it. And I got into about the second chapter, and then I started having like these crazy dreams where like like those dreams, and in your dreams you're not supposed to feel pain and that kind of stuff, where like I would actually feel it, and so at first I just thought nothing of it. I'm like, whatever, this is just, something. But it was just odd that it was always the nights that I was working on the script. So I started telling Cassidy about it, and she was like, she's like, you need to stop. She's like, you should probably, not work on it anymore. We should just, get away from it, take some time away. And I'm like, I'm getting really close to being finished. I just want to finish it. And she's like, all right. She's like, but, just promise me, that if something happens, you'll stop. And I said, okay. So the one night I just had like this really like vivid dream. And I think it was like in one of the chapters of the book where like the lady, her kids were getting attacked by this ghost that was in the house, and actually it had pushed like had like grabbed one of the kid's arms and like scratched the kid while he was pushing him down the stairs. And when I woke up in the morning, I had like these scratch marks on my arm, and I had no idea where they came from. So it freaked me right out, and I was like, I could have been doing it myself in my sleep, stuff like that, but I didn't know how it happened. So I told Cassidy what happened, and she's like, you're done. She's like, you're not doing it anymore. She's like, he's obviously attached, trying to attach to you. And she's like, I don't want that to happen. So, she's like, burn the script, and, give me back the book. So I went over to her house, and we did like a whole sage ritual, and, to try to, just get rid of any of the bad juju that was around this thing going on. But, I've always believed in them growing up. I've studied different religions growing up. I was a big, being a twin, you try to discover yourself because there's two of you and you don't know, you try to separate yourself from, being different. So, I've always wanted to learn different religions and learn different things. And so there's a lot of different things out there to know about, so I don't ever, rip on anybody for what they believe in, for what they, believe is true. There's so many different pieces out there that how can you say that one certain thing is true and one certain thing is not? It's there's just so many things. So, I think that there's a piece of everything out there, and that eventually, all these pieces need to be put together. So, and I think spirits is definitely, something that is real and something that is alive, and growing, however you believe in it. You know what I mean? Angels, spirits, entities, whatever you call them, I think they're definitely there. So,
yeah.
That's
definitely
interesting.
I love how you worded that. Very definitely agree with you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy though. I don't know. I can't imagine. I've never gone through anything, so but I definitely believe.
Yeah, like even talking about it, like my hair's like standing up.
Yeah.
Like it's weird it's weird to talk about, right? Like you hear about it, but a lot of people don't experience it, and
Right.
and you have kids that mess around with Ouija boards as a joke as a kid, but and some people will never touch them because of stuff that it could release, and things of that,
What's your
but
opinion on that? Like, would you ever mess with one?
we've done it before.
Oh, really?
So, but I've done it in the safety of somebody who was well versed in it and understood it and could control it if something went wrong.
Yeah.
So we there was a very tight knit group of us, that would do these kind of things, because we understood it, and you don't want to just jump into something not understanding what you're doing because it can be dangerous, So you just gotta be careful, learning about those things and doing those things, and it's not a joke. A lot of people do this stuff just to think because it's cool, or, like back in the day, and I'm sure Vile can attest to this, but when The Craft came out, like everybody thought it was cool, to be a witch because the movie came out, The Craft, and it was like the hype bandwagon for people to, think that they could do magic and do all this stuff. And it was just like, if you don't know what you're doing, just don't mess with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, but no, definitely I believe in it.
Super cool. Thanks for sharing the story.
Yeah, that's super cool.
No worries. No worries. You live in like this Buffalo area. There's a lot of Indian nations around, and there's a lot of places out here where, there's definitely a lot of entities and a lot of things to experience. It's cool.
Yeah, very.
Where I'm from, we have cows.
The distance mooing.
And they're not
There's
very
even
scary.
less. There's even less where I live. It's
Yeah.
not even animals.
You guys have fields
Flat.
of nothing. It's pretty great.
No hills.
Got a lot of wind.
Plains.
A lot of wind, a lot of cold.
I remember, that's funny you say that, because I remember driving after when my dad passed away. I jumped in the car, and me and my brother, and we drove straight across the top of the country, right? And we get into like the flat areas, like I think Utah and like those areas. And we were just driving, and I was literally going like not even 5 miles over the speed limit, and I got pulled over. And I was like, okay, what happened? Like, and and this is on the way home, right? And I'm freaking out because I had my dad's rifles and stuff in the trunk, and like, because I was bringing them back to my uncle.
Right.
And I was like, great, like, what's gonna happen? And so pulled over, and he's like, can I have your license registration? I'm like, sure. And I'm like, can you tell me what I did wrong? Was I speeding? And he's like, no. He's like, you were going a little fast. He's like, but I'm just warning you. He's like, at those speeds with these winds at this flat ground, he's like, you're just gonna get pushed right off the road. He's like, so just be careful and slow down. I was like, okay. I'm like, I have never heard of that before, where like you can drive and just get shoved off the road.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's flat country, there's no trees, there's no buildings, there's nothing to block the wind, so it's just the full force of the wind hitting you. So,
Right, especially if you drive like trucks or anything like that. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Occasionally here, if there's no trees or something, it's just an open highway. If it's like, I don't know, 20, 25 miles per hour wind, which is pretty strong, like it'll kind of shift the car a little bit. So I couldn't imagine being in a northern flat state where it's like 50 mile per hour.
Literally last week we had 60 plus mile an hour winds. And in my backyard, I've got a patio table set, like a glass patio table set with chairs. And I've got a hammock, and on top of the hammock base, I've got a 50-pound sandbag there, holding it on, like 50-pound bag. And the whole hammock had blown all the way across the yard. 50-pound sandbag and all. The whole patio table and every chair was blown, like just pushed against our fence. I was like, this is literally crazy that like wind can do this.
If you're outside during that, Raven, does it just like push you over? Like, what's it do? I've never experienced anything like that.
I don't usually stand outside when it's doing that.
That's fair.
So.
Not just,
I don't know. I've never like
shake me.
It like sounds kind of terrifying, so I don't. I just watch everything like blow around that you're like can't even believe it's like
on the biggest jacket you have, and hold on to the corners. We want to see if you can fly.
Oh my god! Yeah, literally. I'll get out next time and test it. Jump off the roof and
take a video.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, if you wanna see something paranormal, go to northern U.S. in the flat part. Experience the wind.
Experience the wind.
Experience the wind.
Yeah. Oh man.
It'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah. So I don't think we asked you this yet, Midnight. If you were to like create your own video game, what would you do with that? What would you?
If I were to, I've done that as a kid. Like I used to sit down and actually draw up ideas of like video games, and because like I love being creative. It's just one of my things. Like I always need an outlet for being creative, and I actually came up with it was like a cross between like a circus and like a medieval time where it was kind of like a World of Warcraft, but kind of like an RPG, but kind of mixed with like a fun game like at the same time. So it was like a time traveler type of game where like you would go into like different decades. So you would like you'd start like each one of the different circus tents was like a different decade. So you could start in like the 1990s, but then you would have to travel back to like the 70s to get a piece of a certain piece of information that you needed to bring it back, and then maybe that like piece would like lead you back to like either like modern times or like you'd have to travel to a different decade. So like I just always thought it would be cool to like travel between different time periods and different things, because there's a lot of games out there that have like different decades. Like you look at games like I'm trying to think of the name of it now for it doesn't that's missing the tip of my tongue. My brother plays it all the time. But it's like it's based in different decades. Each one of the games is a different decade as you go through it. But like I'd love to have a game that's just like, you know, like a Back to the Future type of thing where, you know, you can go into like different eras and different things, they get different clues and then bring it back, you know, to like a modern time to try to like solve clues. And it could be like a continuous like a never ending type of, you know, like a game, you know, or like even like a storyline, you know, that you could do. So yeah, just some type of game like that where you could just travel into different times, I think would be awesome. I've always been obsessed with especially musically, like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, like those type of eras, you know, because we just don't know much about them, and it'd be fun to learn it.
Just a second.
That would be super cool.
Nerdy Curious, thank you so much for the raid. You
Hey,
guys
raid.
are awesome. Welcome in, everyone. We are just in the middle of our podcast with our guest, midnighttwin, today. So he is currently telling us about what kind of game he would create if he were to create a video game. And this is actually like super interesting. I really love the idea of like time travel, and I really haven't seen that in like a video game. Not anything that I've played.
Yeah, that would be
anyways.
super cool.
That's
Usually like, a video game is based on like one time period, so that would be super cool to be able to visit them, like a whole bunch of them in one game.
Yeah, I really like that. And I feel like most people, like, I know I'm not creative enough to sit here and like think of a video game to make. Like, if I say something, it's gonna be based off a game that's already made that I already like. I'm like, oh, I really like this. Probably something like this, and like a lot of people say stuff like that. So it's really cool that you literally, like, when you were younger, had come up with this whole idea. And
oh yeah, like I used to have drawings and everything. Like I would just sit down and draw like all these different characters, and so
that's super cool. Jamie, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, honestly, like if that was a real game, I would definitely play that, because I'm obsessed with like learning about history and stuff like that, and being able to like integrate that into a game, especially kind of like what you were saying with like find the clues or the pieces or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. That sounds really fun and really neat.
Yeah.
You definitely seem really, creative. Really cool. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah. I mean,
I like struggle to be creative.
I'm very not creative at all.
It's a blessing and a curse all at once. So.
Oh my God.
Well, at least you got your notebook now. You can write it all down.
There we go.
It's great.
Put it in your notebook.
I love it.
We all need to order Animal Crossing notebooks now.
Yeah, seriously, I'm gonna get one.
So, did you guys see the freaking Build-A-Bear release for Animal Crossing?
Lizard got one.
You already know I ordered an Isabelle.
Wait, you did?
You already know. No.
Yeah. Me and Lizard were talking about it on his stream.
Oh my gosh. How long did you have to wait? Oh my gosh. Ginger's like, do not get me started with the Build-A-Bear. Okay, honestly, I was disappointed. I was like, really? You want me to give my real life money to Tom Nook? I've already given him that much money. Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
I had to get my Isabelle. I already know. Okay.
Right.
So it hasn't shipped yet, but I ordered that sucker. I sure did.
I'm on the list for the next round when they come out. So
I'm waiting. They said they were gonna have like a summer update and introduce a new like character. So I'm like waiting to see. I'm waiting for that one, because I don't know. I can't do it yet. That's so funny. Yeah. How long were you waiting in line to like get that? Because I hopped in line just for a second just to see like how long the wait is, and it's like over an hour.
So the line opened up at 9 a.m. or like the waiting room for the line, and I hopped in at 9 a.m. I was like, I had to be one of the first people in there, and whenever 10 a.m. rolled around, it's like you have over an hour in line. So I was like, oh, whatever, you know, I'll stay here. There were people that were like in the waiting room for like 2 minutes and got in within like 8 minutes in the line.
gosh,
I'm like, you're kidding. So I ended up waiting like, how long do you think it was, Caitlin? Like an hour and a half? Yeah, about an hour and a half. And then it was my turn. I went in there and I said, Isabel. I wanted to. We had already talked before, and because we figured at most they would release like Timmy, Tommy, Tom Nook, Isabel, Blathers, Celeste, like all the like one.
If Blathers and
not the
Celeste came out, they
villagers.
would
the-
go
Yeah, I
crazy.
didn't think they'd be coming out with like the specific villagers, but I
Right.
figured there'd be
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than just
the like
Isabel.
story characters, yeah. So those are the ones we expected, and we talked about like, probably Isabel. Like Isabel's a cool new character. I love Isabel. Isabel's cool.
I do love Isabel. I would love to see like the ratio of Isabel sold to Tom Nook sold.
Surprisingly, a lot of people got Tom Nook.
Really?
I think they
I bet a lot
sold
of people
out of
got the
both.
same. Yeah.
Taught me if he was
Actually, I know they
setting
sold
up.
out of both within like a
That's
couple
Yeah, 'cause
hours.
now they're like
so-
$300 on eBay.
Don't spend
literally.
$300 on eBay. They will come back out soon.
Ridiculous.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm excited to see like who the next one they bring out is over the summer. And they said, they do that.
Yeah, I think a Blathers would be super cool. Or like, sometimes with the Build-A-Bears they do like the small animals, and they could do like Timmy and Tommy. The small ones, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, so you'll have to send us a picture when you get it. Or like
For sure, yeah,
Show us-
yeah, 100%. I'm gonna have to stream it or something. Just be like,
There
this
you
is
go.
my Isabel.
guys get either one. Also Wicked Dime, thank you for the sub. You're awesome.
Yeah, so what they did in the past with like Pokemon was like, I don't know which ones they released initially, but Pikachu for sure, and then like over the next few years, like every few months they would release some more Pokemon. So
There's so many villagers. But same with Pokemon. I don't know. like,
yeah,
how
they
you'd
released
even
like
begin to like
10 to 20
I think that they would.
total.
I'm sure they'd probably stick with like the Mabel sisters,
Right.
and then probably like the Otter, like the people that visit your island, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
those would be, I think, would be your
Sure.
key people to do first. I'm telling you, if they made what's his name? Gosh, I'm blanking on his name. The lizard that comes and gets your
Flick.
insects. Flick. He would be gone in a heartbeat.
Flick would
Everybody
be
would
cool.
want a Flick.
Yep. I was just about to
You know what I
say
mean?
like Flick would be a really cool one.
Flick
No,
would be cool.
Caitlin really likes Leaf. Leaf.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of people like Leaf. Leaf is a cool one. There's all sorts of them. But then I also saw like another thing that was saying like maybe they'll do just like those characters, and then maybe some of the like new villagers that came out with New Horizons. But we'll see. We're asking a lot.
I
Hey,
know.
Who knows?
If they did the pelicans in their drunk pose laying down, I'd buy them in a heartbeat.
Gulliver.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Can you imagine if they did one of the gorillas? I would literally be terrified. Like I'm like the gorillas are like the worst thing ever. No offense, if anyone has a gorilla, I'm sure they're great for you. I like can't with the gorillas on Animal Crossing. Like,
Right?
can you imagine?
That's how I feel with the anteaters. I can't.
Oh yeah, those are weird.
A lot of people like them. Not me. Especially
Gosh.
Pango. I have beef with Pango.
Pango. I don't like how the gorillas like you can like see their pink butts, and I'm like, that's kind of freaky. Like they turn around and it's like bright pink butt. It's like right there. I'm like, this
Oh,
does
boy.
not feel right.
Oh boy.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
It's pretty funny. This is kind of backtracking, but you were talking about the
No.
game you would make, and then you said you really like the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Have you ever played the game L.A. Noire?
No, I've heard of it. But I've never played it though.
Yeah. So that game is a lot like Grand Theft Auto. It's made by Rockstar. Just a single player game, and you're a police officer or a private investigator, not a police officer. Based in 1947 Los Angeles. And it's open world, and it's super cool. It's very interesting.
What's
Just
it
like
called?
L.A. Noire. It's made by the same
gonna
people
write
that
that
made
down so I can check it out.
GTA. So it's very it's a lot like GTA. Maybe not as exciting as GTA as far as the story and stuff goes, because it's very repetitive, but it's pretty good. And it's just really cool, like that that style, like 1947. You can unlock all the new cars, like the old cars and stuff. It's super
Sweet.
cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, I really liked that game. That was one I played at an age where I was way too young to play it on the Xbox 360, and it actually came with 3 discs inside the like case. Like, there's part 1, 2, and 3 because it was just like a big game for that time.
Actually, someone in my chat, Peking, is actually like, I loved LA Noire.
It was so good. It was so good. I never played the remastered version. They have remastered versions now that are like apparently look way better and all that. But it was a super cool game, for sure.
Write that down.
Yeah, it's super cool.
What else are we missing?
I feel like there's something.
I know, me
but
too.
There's one thing. One question.
He said LA Noire is where the press X to doubt meme came from. Have you seen that meme?
Yes. I forgot.
Well, I know you guys mentioned Funkos before, so.
Oh my gosh, that is what I was going to bring up.
Yes.
That actually is what I was going to bring up.
No, for sure. I meant to at the beginning.
Because you obviously said, yeah, from the beginning, you're big into Funko. I can see your background. Really cool. You've got like your own collection, it looks like. Yep. And I wanted to talk to you about like, because you said you do like custom Funkos, which is really cool. I want to kind of like hear more about that too, because that's super cool.
Yeah, I started. My brother was the one that basically got me into collecting Funko. He had purchased me a Nightwing Funko Pop, which was one of my favorite characters from the Batman series, and it was one of my screen names for like the longest time. Actually, I just changed over my PS4 name to Midnighttwin. It was Nightwing for like 10 years. So I finally switched it over to kind of put all my social media and stuff all together. So I started collecting that, and then as I was collecting Funko, there were certain things that like I saw some people like doing some customs, and I was like, I wonder if I could do that, because there was some characters that like I wanted but they never had at the time. So I was like, I think I could dabble in this, and I think I could have fun with it. So the one that started after my dad had passed away, and like I said, we were all big into World of Warcraft. So I made a custom Funko Pop of his Warlock from World of Warcraft for my brother to put, because my brother had like this little memorial for my dad at his house, and so that was kind of my first experience making a custom. And I didn't really share it with a whole lot of people because I didn't know if I was that good at sculpting and that kind of stuff. So I could show you one that I have in the back. Hang on one second.
Yeah. Heck yeah, that's super cool.
That's a super cool idea, especially for the first one you did. Yeah.
Well, especially if there's like one they don't make yet that you want.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
That's my China cabinet. That's all my Haunted Mansion pops are in there.
That's cool.
But
So yeah, how does a custom work? Like you have to actually like sculpt it?
There's a couple different ways you can do it. Like some people just, some people take, 2 different pops, and you can like take pieces from them and like change a head with a body and then just kind of repaint it, and do it that way. Or you can do sculpt. And you can, there's different types of clay that you can use to do sculpts and to do these kind of things. There's a lot of cool creators in our community that do this kind of stuff, that are way better than I am. Trust me, I'm an amateur when it comes to this. Yeah. So, and then they have like DIY pops that you can buy. They're just a blank, like almost like a proto. And what a proto pop is basically the original like prototype for the pop before it was painted or anything like that. So it's just like a shell, and then you can use that to sculpt on or to paint or to do whatever with. So, but one of my shows that I loved Jim Henson. Growing up, he's one of my idols growing up, and The Labyrinth was one of my favorite movies. And at the time, they didn't have any Labyrinth pops out, and I was like, I want to start making a Labyrinth pop. So this guy was my very first custom.
That's so cool.
Oh my
that I had made.
That's so
That
good.
And
is cool.
this is Ludo from The Labyrinth, if you've ever seen the movie.
That's
So,
so good.
Cool.
I'm
impressed.
Wow.
So it took me some time just to kind of like find the right colors and try to find the right pop. But he's actually a Wampa from Star Wars. Is the actual original pop that I use. So then I just took some clay and heightened the eyebrows, made the lip bigger on the bottom here, and then of course added the ears, and then just kind of did like a custom paint job to him. So, and then I had like I shared him on one of my Funko sites, and I had like I don't know how many people messaged me like wanting one of these. Like, can you please make me one? And I was like, he's an original. Sorry, it took me forever to make one.
Right. Yeah.
But like he was number. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Nerdy Curious was like, Ludo, I love that custom you made.
Yeah. He was fun. Actually, I have another custom right now, which Miss Fancy Cherry has at the current moment. Where I took Sandy Claus and I took his arms. I took all the bugs off of it, or took his candy off his beard, put bugs in it, and then popped his arms off and put him behind his back in a rope. So he looks like Sandy Claus from Nightmare Before Christmas when he's in Oogie Boogie's dungeon. So I made it look like that, and then I sent it to her, and she's going to do a custom glow paint on it to make it look like it's glowing, so it'll glow in the dark. So it'll look just like Sandy Claus when he's in the Oogie Boogie's basement when it glows. So that'll be an exciting collab, and that's the cool thing, like to collab with people in this community and do these kind of things. So, and then I want to do a bunch of Robin Williams pops. They're my next ones that I want to work on.
Oh, that'll be really cool.
That would be cool.
So I'm kind of taking my time to do that. I was actually going to do one, the one from Jumanji, but they came out with those pops, so I don't have to do that one anymore.
Right.
But
Mrs. Doubtfire, that'd be cool.
Yep, I have actually. Awesome. Speaking of.
Oh,
they
I'm so excited.
Do have one for everything.
So this is one that I've started working on.
That's awesome.
I need to finish. I got to change the outfit, and I'm gonna change some of the stuff that she's holding. This will be a purse instead of a jacket. I'll cut this off. Change the hair a little bit.
Right.
I'm gonna do two of these. I'm gonna do one that's when they first see Mrs. Doubtfire, and then I'm gonna do one with the whipped cream on her face in the robe.
That'll be so cool.
That'll be my chase.
That'll
be my chase version. So that's the next one that I'm going to be working on. So yeah, Birdcage, Robin Williams would be awesome. Peking, yes. So the bromance, Steven says.
The bromance.
That's so creative.
You're like, I feel like you've got just this like top-notch creativity. Like.
So yeah, and then I wanted to make my own custom Funko Pop, but then they came out with the Pop Yourself at Funko HQ, where you could go into the store and make your own. And a very good friend and my moderator, Super Jen, helped me out and hooked me up.
Wow, that's awesome.
How cool.
Because I can't get it, so I sent her some money, and the box actually.
No, the box literally
says
that's
so cool. That's so
cool. So I have my own custom Funko Pop.
Dude, that's awesome.
Really
I love
cool.
it.
Which is fun.
Now I want one. Just like because it says it on the box, like that's.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my.
I know they're talking about doing that online eventually, where you can order them online like that. You can pick out your stuff and they'll make it on. But I don't know when that's coming. But yeah, so that's cool. So I want to get
a hit.
So yeah, I love doing custom work. I used to do cakes and stuff, specialty cakes, and that kind of led me into doing custom Funko Pops. So
that's so cool.
I feel like we're like just unraveling like layers and layers and layers.
I'm I have so many things. I'm so eclectic. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The most creative that me and Raven got in the past like 5 years was we got some ugly Christmas sweaters a few years ago.
There you go.
Actually, we got it
so
on New Year's, not Christmas.
Funko Pops, like it's all random. Like my whole bottom shelf of Funko Pops are just random. It's crazy.
That's so cool.
Oh man, that's super super cool.
Every time we have someone on here, they have something that just amazes me. Every time.
Yeah,
It's
and,
like, man.
and then there's us, Lizard.
Yeah.
Can you send me money too? Sure, Rach, I'll send you some money.
Right. I'm gonna get a
I
me
know.
character
She
with
says-
the boxing gloves.
Yeah. She says, "R.I.P. Robin. His death hit me particularly hard."
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
that's so sad.
yep. And
People.
in all of my shows that I do, whenever they come out with a program, they usually have you put a little blurb about yourself in it, and then a quote. And it's all of my quotes are Robin Williams, no matter what. I go, he was the number one, and still is my number one actor of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So, absolutely.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, phenomenal. Pretty
Man,
crazy.
all I want now is my own. I'm not even a Funko person. I don't have a single Funko, but I want my own Funko.
Yeah, well, there's just a rabbit hole to jump down because like you have those
know.
Funkos, and then you have these guys, which are so much fun. These
Yeah,
Funko
I've
sodas.
seen those. I don't know what they are.
I
Are they
don't-
just smaller
yeah.
ones that
I
come in
don't
the
know what
sodas?
Do you
come in
open
soda
that?
cans?
Yeah, it's like it's like a soda can, and then you pop the top off, so the top pops off, and then
That's so
inside
cool.
it gets you come with like a little pog, you know, and it has like the limited edition, and then like your little guys inside of it.
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't. Yeah,
So
obviously,
these
you
are
know,
so much
I've
fun.
seen those, but I never knew like
Right.
what they were.
being in the community, like my whole, like half my Twitter is like Funko stuff. I don't know much about it, so I always see those, and I'm like, I don't think that would taste good.
I know.
Yeah.
It feels wrong to like look at that stuff and be like, I don't know what they're talking about because it's so popular. It like almost feels wrong to like
Yeah.
not
I'm so
know
mad, like I didn't know about it sooner though, like because there's so many things that like if you don't have it, it's so hard to get right now. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous how far up in how some of these things spike. Sorry, my character fell over and his hat fell off. Now he's bald.
Oh no.
like, okay, ignorance is bliss. I'm probably saving a lot of money by not knowing what's going on.
Probably. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh
your
my
hair, you would be broke if you tried to collect all the Harry Potters.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, I would want all of them. I can't.
And they even
just,
have a
like-
Harry Potter train.
Oh wow, that's really cool. Don't tell me
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, you need to check it out. It's pretty sweet. Yep,
That's so cool.
it's pretty sweet.
Pete King says, I was sad when I learned there was no soda in the soda.
No, so sorry, P Gang.
That's
Would you like me to fill one of these up with you for a soda and send it to you?
Right.
I'm sorry, that's so funny though.
Yeah, it's not like the Funko cereal that has real cereal in it.
Wait, okay. I should stop asking. Like, wait, I should stop being so surprised when they're like, "Oh, Funko cereal, Funko this, Funko that."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, this is the Funko candy bar.
What the heck? Literally know nothing.
Yep, they have everything: t-shirts, socks, loungewear. You know, it's so much stuff.
That's so.
Well,
There's
the
a huge,
huge. So
yep, so much stuff.
Insane. Yeah. See, I feel like once you start, there's no going back.
Yep.
Sure.
Well, I try to stick to my main collections. Like now, like I used to be all over the place, but now I kind of stick to Haunted Mansion and Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of where I stay. Try to stay in my lane, you know. So and then I started to collect like a lot of the Christmas pops too. So like I have Home Alone, I have Christmas Vacation.
Buddy the Elf, you got Buddy?
Ooh,
I
that'd be-
I don't know
didn't
if
have
they
Buddy
have
because
one.
he's a common. He's one that you could probably just get. I try to get
Okay.
like some of the harder,
Yeah.
like, and I have the Old Man from Christmas Story because that was one of the very first plays that I was in after I left high school.
That's
was the
cool.
Christmas Story, and I played the
Yeah.
Old Man, so I have that Funko Pop. And I wish I would have got the rest of the Christmas Stories because now they're like hundreds of dollars just to try to get the Ralphie ones.
Wow.
So it's crazy.
crazy.
They're so cool. That's just one of those things. Like I would be obsessed if I started. Well, I did start, but not anything like crazy.
Yeah, that's
So
literally
if
why
Yeah,
I
just
got
it's
too
easy to
into it,
fall. It's easy to fall into that, into
gotta
that
say
realm.
for
so,
sure,
man.
If you got to be careful,
for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
or you just go crazy, So
I'm
hey,
definitely super
whatever.
impressed with like the custom stuff. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Thanks. I like to be creative. It's help.
Yeah. Do you want to do questions?
Yeah, I think so.
Does anyone have questions for Midnight Twin?
Yeah, now is the time to pop questions in the
I feel
chat.
like he's someone.
Now's the time while I find my hat that hit the floor for my Funko.
While
listening.
people are typing their questions, do you have any questions for me and Raven? Or
No,
anything that you would like to say?
I have a question for you.
You have a question for who?
What's your Harry Potter house?
You know what my Harry Potter house is.
I know, but I don't remember.
It's how you and I met. I'm a Ravenclaw.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
And
I was
Steph,
like,
remember, because we were talking about how Muggles. Oh no, what was it? It was what house is not allowed in your chat? Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff. Because Steph created she created a thing that day for Hufflepuffs coming into your chat, and then it was literally like 5 minutes later, somebody came in and was like, "Oh, I'm a Hufflepuff."
no, she made this lurk command, and it's kind of mean. And then someone that I don't even know was like, "Oh
I don't remember if it was Steph or if it was Sam that made that, but I was like, "This is hilarious."
I still have it." Oh man,
Yep.
yeah. Shout out to Ravenclaw in the chat.
You're not even a Ravenclaw, are you?
Why would my name be Ravenclaw if I wasn't?
Because I thought you just liked them a lot. I thought you were a
just thought I was jealous.
A Hinkleberry or something.
Why?
No.
I don't know.
I am a Ravenclaw.
I don't know what I would be. Probably a
Slytherin.
The audacity.
That sounds so bad.
Gall.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The audacity. Oh wow. Yeah, I forget. So guys, Midnight has literally like been in my chat since like just about like the day I started streaming. I feel like you've definitely been one of my longest like people that have like been in my streams and stuff like that. Like when I had like nobody, like you were always I feel like you were there like everyone like back when I first started.
Yeah, I always had to come in and harass you and stuff. That was like my job. So, I was like, they're gonna hate me just because I started like I was just giving it back to you guys, and then Steph was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that.
Some said that it was Steph.
Which was Robbie, so Robbie did it. Okay.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. It was Robbie. Yeah, some said it wasn't him because he's not mean. So.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
That mean old Robbie.
But yeah, does anyone have questions for Midnight Twin? I need to scroll up and see what I've missed.
Yeah, shoot some questions. I think I missed something over the course here.
There is a sorting house website peeking that you can go to.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to figure it out.
You have to.
I don't know. That's a good one, Rach. If I knew how, I would. I just don't know how. So Rach asked, when are we getting the MC Curtis mixtape?
Yes.
So on my stream, I have a channel redemption for sing mode, where my people can request any song, and I'll do a snippet of a karaoke song for them because I love to sing. It's like they used to have Twitch sings out, and they don't have it anymore. And I had so much fun doing that, but now they don't have it. It's not out anymore. So that's my way of singing still. So I do like a small snippet, and I've always wanted to make like a CD or make like a tape, but I just don't have the knowledge on how to actually record audio and record like making that type of stuff. Or I would do it. I always thought about making a Christmas CD. It'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Wicked Time said redeems sing mode Curtis.
Yeah.
We're not in my chat. We're not in my chat.
That is so funny. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
I feel like to make something like that, you might have to have like a really like fancy microphone or some sort of crazy audio. Maybe not. I don't know. I'd be too scared to do that. That would just be horrible.
You know what's
Maybe
hilarious
everyone
though?
would be deaf after me.
I have this sitting on my floor that I don't even have hooked up yet because
Oh my goodness.
I tried it and it didn't work once, so I just laid it on the floor.
Oh.
So
Okay.
eventually I'll dig into that to get it to work.
Rach
Yeah.
asked,
Is it a
what
USB
is
mic?
your... Oh my gosh. Sorry. Sam says Raven trying to keep a straight face and not die inside us. Toot toot toots go off.
Yeah.
Literally.
I tried doing that.
I know.
but
It's so loud. I'm like,
it's
don't
awesome.
listen.
I could hear it too. I was like, that's funny.
Rach says, what's your dream musical role, Curtis?
My dream musical role. Oh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of musicals I've always wanted to be in. Couple I've auditioned for and haven't gotten. Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors has always been one that I've always wanted to do. And I actually did that in one of my local community theaters. That was one that I was passed up on. But one that I wanted to do, Tevia from Fiddler on the Roof. He is definitely one that I want to do. So next time that comes around, I want to audition. It's kind of hard for me to do musicals now, being on the road and that for work. So it's a little tough to do that. And then probably Mark from Rent was another one that I'd love to do. So those are comes. I'm kind of, I think, aging out of the role for Mark, but he's definitely one that I would want to do. So those are probably like my top three, musical roles that I'd love to do. Because for my vocal range, it's tricky. I'm in like a baritone, like low tenor range. So a lot of singers on Broadway are like very good tenors and have amazing tenor voices. So it's a tricky balance.
That's super cool that you've like done that stuff though.
Yeah,
Yep,
sure.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I do community theater quite a bit. Like I said, I've been in the movie Marshall with Chadwick Boseman and Josh Gad, with those guys. I've done a couple made-for-TV movies that like show up on Hallmark and Ion. So
you've actually been in movies?
Yep.
I didn't know that about you. That's really cool.
That is really cool.
Yep, those were fun. Those were like late 2-3 in the morning shoots, and I whenever they asked someone to stay, I'd be the one to stay just because I wanted to be in the movie as much as I could.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
It's such a great experience. I love it. So, but right now I do in Buffalo, I do a show called Tony and Tina's Wedding. It's a constantly running show that we do, where basically you come and it's like a real wedding that you come to. We play the wedding party, and you just come to the wedding. It's like you sit down, you watch the wedding, you watch the ceremony, you get up and you dance with the cast like you're at a real wedding, and it's basically just like an Italian wedding gone wrong. Like there's fighting, there's screaming, there's all kinds of craziness going on. There's singing. It's a blast.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
really cool.
But of course, with COVID, you can't do that right now. So
Yeah, for real. But that's super cool.
You like miss doing that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. It crushes me that I can't do it. Like I'm dying inside.
Yeah. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, though.
That's right.
We are getting there. Earlier, Steph, you asked, "Can I build can I get a maple Build-A-Bear?" Is that how it works? The answer is no. They hyped up this thing for months. We all like put in our emails for the waiting list. We were super pumped up, and they released Tom Nook and Isabel. That was it.
There you go.
I cannot get my mind
Yeah.
to
As
that
months go
thing.
on, they'll start releasing more. I don't know what they're going to release, but also I don't know if you can get them in Canada.
One of the
I don't
clothing
think you
options need
can.
to be like a bag of bells.
Yeah, for real, that'd be cool.
I'm like, can you imagine Tom Nook just like sitting up on your shelf or something? No.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Life on a military base.
All the random noises. Imagine being Canadian. Imagine. Wicked Dime, see you later. Thanks so much for
See you,
hanging out.
Steven.
Yeah, do you have anything, Skylar? Or Lizard, sorry.
You
I
have
went
a
through all
question
mine.
for Midnight?
Yeah, Steven feeds my addiction for Animal Crossing.
Uh,
He made me all these amiibo cards.
for new
Wait,
streamers?
what? No way.
Okay.
Yep.
Those are actually amiibo cards?
Yep. He scanned them and made them for me for all the characters that I wanted on my island.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
That's so cool. Here we are, like trying to use friggin' villager hunting.
my wife wants to know what
Yes.
advice you would give to new streamers.
Just start streaming. Like it's scary and it's nerve-wracking at first, but like you just got to do it. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to, just be yourself and do what you love to do, because the support is there if you get the right community, and you fall into it, no matter what, and don't. I think one of the biggest things that people thrive on, and I think which really, because I did it at first, and then I finally learned just to not even worry about it, was don't worry about your follower count. Like don't let that define your stream. You know what I mean? So the people that want to be in your stream and that enjoy you will be there, and they're the people that, enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy your stream, then yeah, go ahead, change it up, find something different to do and do it. But if you're enjoying what you're doing, and you're having a good time just, playing a game, or whether you're doing cosplay or, just a podcast or Lego building, whatever it is, just find something you love to do and do it and share it with the world. I mean,
Something for everyone on this
there is,
platform.
there is, and I don't think that a lot of people understand that a lot of people think this is just gaming. You know what I mean?
So much more.
But there's so much more than just gaming.
We're not gaming right now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
my one friend Laura that I knew from high school, she now lives in Florida. She was going through a pretty rough time because she had put on so much weight because of her kids and through depression and through going through a couple different marriages. But she used to be a Zumba instructor, and just one day, her and I were talking. I'm like, you should do it on Twitch. So she did. She just started opening up her channel, and now she does Zumba on Twitch.
That's so
and
cool.
streams
That's
to like a
awesome.
bunch of people. So
It's a good idea.
It's a platform. You can do whatever you want. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just my only thing, like, I just don't want to, that I try not to do is, I don't want to. I'm a very welcoming and opening. You are who you are and be who you want to be. Just don't be offensive and
Right.
just don't hurt people. People's fandoms
sure.
are fandoms, and that's what they love. So just do what you love. That's all I got to tell people. Jump on here and just do what you love, and it'll all come together. If you have a passion for something, just go for it, because you'll never know if you don't do it.
Kaylin says, what? Zumba?
And there's one thing, if you start streaming and you're a part of this community, that's a guarantee when it comes to streaming, is you'll always have a friend. Always make a friend.
Yeah, you'll always have
make
support.
multiple friends.
You'll always
supports.
have help. Like, I guarantee you could like message anyone in this community and they'd be more than willing to help you out. Like, if you got questions about streaming,
Yep.
Right.
if you need help getting started, like,
Yep.
but
Absolutely.
this is one of the most like welcoming, friendliest communities that definitely like don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Right. And it's like you guys said, you've seen how, in such a short time how far my stream has come, and that's because of people in the community. Like I see something on their stream and I'm like, that is awesome. Like, how do you do that? And they're never like, oh, you can't do that because I do that on my stream. They're always like, absolutely. Let me show you where to get it and how to do it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, definitely.
That's
For sure.
That's what I enjoy.
Yeah, it's super
Some
cool.
of the kindest people. Yeah.
The kindest people on the Unkindness Lounge.
In the unkindness. We've got the kindest people in this Unkindness Lounge.
That's right. The kindest people in the Unkindness Lounge.
Yeah. Honestly, it is the truth, though. It's crazy.
It's funny that you mentioned your name because I knew that Robbie Juice came up with it, but I had no idea what it actually meant. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So, like, people reading it, they're like, what the heck?
It was almost, it's okay to be a nerd. Because one time, me and Raven, who else was playing with us? I don't remember.
I don't even know.
We were playing Warzone, and Raven, like, just flicked in the air and zapped this dude. I don't know if you remember this. It was sick.
Oh, I
like, this dude was flying in the air, like,
of
200 meters away, and she just, like, flicked and zapped the dude out of the air. It looked like an aimbot. And I was like, you just zapped that nerd. And I was like, it's okay to be a nerd. I don't know why I called him a nerd. I'm very nerdy. But it's okay to be a nerd.
Yeah,
it is.
It's okay to be a nerd. So we were going to use that.
But
picking a name is so hard.
Like, literally, like, the creativity master was like, wait.
Right.
Yep, the Bard of Twitch.
And at first I was like, why would we use the Unkindness Lounge? Like, nobody's going to watch us. Like, I didn't know what it meant. I just saw that. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, that's
and Robbie's so nice. I was like, why is he saying that? And then I found out, like, what it actually meant. I was like, dude, that's the coolest thing ever.
Right.
It is cool. It is cool.
Man.
I dig it. Like it's like you guys have no idea. Like it's so funny because like this week I was just thinking I want to come up with a graphic for that. Like what am I gonna do? It was so funny. That's how my brain works. Like I want to be creative all the time. So it's just how I do things.
I wish I was more creative. Well, I went through everything on my side.
Yeah, I'm out of questions, but
dude,
Midnight?
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
I feel like,
seriously.
Yeah, you're a lot of fun to talk to, just with how much like stuff that you've done off stream, on stream. You're just like super fun and lighthearted. And
yeah,
I've really enjoyed having you on today.
Yeah, you're definitely one of the most creative and talented people I've ever met. So it's awesome.
I appreciate that. I love being in both your guys' streams. You know that. Anytime you guys are on, I love to pop in and hang out with you guys. So as much as I can. So it's just I love it. And I'm glad that you guys invited me. I'm honored to be one of the many that you've had in here. So I appreciate it. And I can't wait to see what you guys have next. It's awesome.
Yeah,
guys, I just dropped the links to midnighttwin's Twitch and Lizard's, obviously. Oh, never mind. I dropped Midnight twice.
Follow him twice. Make another account. Follow him a second time.
Anyways,
right? Yeah, make lots of accounts.
Right.
Better go follow both of them.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, we've got a full day tomorrow. Tomorrow morning on Lizard stream, make sure you check it out. We got Phasmo Friday, and then nighttime, go over to Midnight Twin stream, and we've got Fall Guys Friday, so it's gonna be a super fun day. Definitely don't want to miss their streams.
Yeah, lots of streams happening. Like always, there's always someone on.
Yes,
definitely.
Do you have a streaming schedule?
Do I have a streaming schedule? Yeah, I stream Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till whenever. Usually it's like 10 p.m. usually during the week, and then Friday it's midnight on Friday nights until Eastern Standard Time till whenever we feel like ending. So
all right.
So that explains why I've never
3:30, 4
cut the
o'clock in the morning.
I'm gonna have to stay up late one night. It sounds really fun.
It's so much fun. We have a blast. We rip on each other, and it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, definitely guys, please follow both Lizard and Midnight. Cause
Right.
go.
Yeah. Go follow
I'm
Midnight
sure
and Raven.
Places.
Um.
Follow me for my once a week live.
So Midnight, do you want to pick someone and we can get a little double raid going?
Ooh, let's see. There's a lot of people on right now. Let's shoot over to Magic Carpet Ride. He's doing Mario Kart,
Yeah.
which I will probably be joining in a little bit later. So, Tamer's a good dude. So
yeah, he's awesome. Guys, thank you so much for chatting and hanging out with us today. And thanks again for coming on. Let me know when you've got the raid link up, and I'll send it at the same time as you.
Yeah, can you guys spell it?
It's like, oh yeah, okay, capital.
It's Magic Carpet, and Ride is just with a Y instead of an I.
Yeah. But do you have the capitals like?
That doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Magic Carpet Ride. Ride is RYDE.
Oh, okay. So I clicked. It's starting the countdown, I think. So.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Let's get the hashtag unkindness raid going.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag unkindness raid. Rage, thanks again for that raid earlier. You are awesome.
Lizard, I just did hashtag not case sensitive because I read Jace's thing.
Okay. Unkindness raid. And are you ready to go over?
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you, Midnight, and thanks, everybody. Bye.
See ya.